talk show. If Nashville was ever ready for that. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm interested if you could talk a little about commonality. You've interviewed so many people from so many diverse backgrounds. I'm just curious on some of the kind of the things you've picked up about, this motivates people kind of across the board, or this is something that really makes people happy or passionate or whatever. So I'm kind of curious if you could talk to that about that.
Yeah, I mean, I think motivators, I think it's two things. I mean, I think everyone I interview is really passionate about people and also, contributing to their community. I mean, if I really have to distill down why someone does what they do, it generally has something to do with, giving back to the world. And that, I mean, again, like I said, I feel like my interviews, I mean, they're this, it's sort of like my ideal kind of world is in this conversation. I really get to see the best parts of people. So in a world where I know people are constantly saying that they're losing faith in humanity, I don't. I mean, if anything, I really see that people want to do good for other people. And then I think it's ego. I think ego motivates everyone, and I think that people are afraid to admit that, and I don't think it's a bad thing. I mean, I think that, people want to do something that makes them feel good about what they do. I mean, all of these people tonight, I mean, just like myself, I mean, I'm slightly motivated by ego too. I mean, it makes me feel good to listen to other people. And so I think if you can just kind of accept that, I mean, it's kind of cool in a way, it's like you found your little superpower. Yeah, and then, I mean, all the stuff I asked about tonight, I've truly found all of the most successful people I interviewed, they think a lot about what they do. They take the time to self-reflect and process, and, I mean, I don't know if they spend an hour a day meditating, but I mean, they're obviously, there's something really deep that's driving them. There would have to be. I mean, to be an entrepreneur, an artist is so freaking hard. I mean, there has to be something greater than money motivating you, Anyone else? Yeah.
What, you mentioned doing all sorts of other kinds of writing before you came to Nashville and feeling like you needed something of your own. What other kinds of writing? You mentioned working for publications. What were you focused on before?
Yeah, so I really did have like a 5-year experimental period. I kind of told myself I was going to just try anything that came my way. So I worked in advertising, I worked in fashion doing copywriting, I worked for a publicist, I did a lot of journalism. The only thing I've never done writing-wise is hard news. It just didn't interest me, honestly. But I think for me that was a great strategy in retrospect. I mean, at the time I think everyone thought I was kind of insane because, my family would say, you never stick with anything, kid. You're doing one job and then you're moving on to the next. And I'd say, well, it sucked. I didn't want to do it. I mean, but, not only did it give me an appreciation for all these different styles of writing, but I think it influenced actually the way I write today. I mean, I write really short and tight, just like I learned how to write. I learned how to write doing event listings, which you have to get your point across in like 30 words. I mean, it's insane. And I learned to be really succinct and to the point through advertising writing. And so it all kind of is like this amalgamation that I believe is why I, crafted a style that is, individual enough. People can tell when it's my writing. So yeah, my most favorite was music journalism at the time. My least favorite was doing advertising, copywriting. I couldn't stand the grind. It was just too much pressure to be that creative all the time. Anyone else? All right. Well,
one more question.
Yeah, please.
Have you ever been interviewed by someone that's really that you feel like has, I guess, uncovered your best self in a surprising way during an interview? Have you ever been on the other side of the chair?
Yeah, I was interviewed a lot when my book came out because I got a lot of press for it, and I think the guy that I wouldn't say it was my best interview because actually I ended up, remember how I mentioned that now I let people read the copy beforehand, and I always say just check for factual errors. And if there's really something incriminating in there, we can talk about it. But this guy, he has a blog in town, it's called Neat Nashville, and he is a sweet guy, but he was so unassuming. There was something about him that was so innocent. I just started running my mouth, and I ended up saying a story that was probably really hurtful, honestly, to about my dad. And when it came out, I liked a lot of what I read, and then I was like horrified when I saw that. And so I remember I like texted him immediately, like psycho style, like 10 times in a row, and I was like, you have to take that down. Like, my dad and I had a really bad relationship for a long time, and now we've worked stuff out, and I really don't want to like damage it, like that just flew out. And he was really cool about it, and I think I scared him because I can be very intense sometimes. He said, okay, don't worry, it's not on there. But I think he had that same kind of nature where for some reason I wanted to talk to him. Again, like he wasn't judgmental, he wasn't abrasive, he was very mild-mannered, and so I actually became a better interviewer because of that experience. I became much more sensitive because I knew how it felt to have that heart attack moment where I thought, if this person sees this, I'm toast. So, yeah. All right, awesome. Well, thank you guys. This has been a wonderful hour and 40 minutes. And again, you can find anything you want to know about me or my interviews on wordofmouthconversations.com. And email me if you have any questions. I'm so sorry about the PowerPoint again. It sucks. But
You're better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
okay, great.
Yeah,
Awesome.
I'm glad.